All right, today we're going to cut through all the marketing fluff and get right to what matters, finding the absolute cheapest Forex brokers for 2026. And we're not just looking at the spreads they advertise. Nope, we are going to calculate the true cost you pay on every single trade. Let's dive in.
So, has this ever happened to you? You put on a trade, you're feeling good about it, and bam, you're instantly in the red. That's not just bad luck, That's the spread. It's literally the price of admission to get into the market.
You've seen the ads everywhere, right? Zero spreads or no commissions. But let's be real, we all know there's no free lunch. These are just marketing hooks designed to get you in the door. The trick is to completely ignore those flashy headlines and focus on the final price you actually pay.
And this right here, this simple formula, is probably the most important thing you'll take away from this entire explainer. Your true cost is always the spread plus whatever commission they charge. That's it. It's the only number that really matters, the only one that shows you what you're really paying.
And this illustrates perfectly why that formula is so critical. Just look at this. The so-called pro account on the left has that beautiful 0 pip spread, which sounds amazing, but add the $7 commission and your cost is $7. Now look at the standard account. It has a 0.6 pip spread, which is $6 on a standard lot, but 0 commission. It's actually $1 cheaper. The account name is just marketing. The math is what counts. So let's put this formula to work. First up, our first category, the ECN Speed Kings. These are the brokers built for scalpers. The high-frequency traders who need two things more than anything else: lightning fast execution and the absolute lowest raw spreads possible. Okay, so first, you've got Black Bull Markets, which is all about incredible speed with their New York-based servers. Then there's RoboForex, a true cost killer. Their commissions can drop as low as $2 per lot. And finally, Axie. Axie is kind of the purist's choice, offering those raw spreads with top-tier regulation, especially if you're an MT4 user.
Now, check this out. We're talking about speed, right? To give you some perspective, RoboForex clocks in with execution speeds around 45 milliseconds. That is literally faster than you can blink. And if you're a scalper, you know that speed is money. All right, now let's talk about the industry heavyweights. These brokers handle such an insane amount of trading volume that they can offer pricing that's just really, really hard for anyone else to beat. Let's look at the zero spread giants. XNES is the king of volume, no question. They offer 0 pip spreads on a massive list of pairs. HFM gives you a very similar 0 spread deal, but they pack it with top-tier regulation from a bunch of different authorities. And then there's FXTM, which stands out with a really flexible commission structure that often goes below the industry standard, rewarding traders who have higher volume. I really want this to sink in. We're not talking about 0 pips on just 1 or 2 pairs when the market's dead. With XNES, you are looking at true 0 pip spreads on 30 of the most popular instruments for most of the trading day. For an active trader, that is an absolute game changer.
Okay. What if you just hate calculating commissions and you want a simple all-in cost? This next category is for you. These brokers basically roll all their fees into the spread. So what you see is what you get. No calculator needed.
XM is fantastic here because they make low-cost trading accessible to pretty much everyone with their ultra-low account and a tiny minimum deposit. It's a great place to start. On the other hand, if you're someone who just values predictable cost above everything, AvaTrade's stable, fixed pricing and top-tier regulation are really hard to beat, especially when the market gets volatile. And hey, remember that example from the very beginning? This is it in the real world. XM's ultra-low account can give you an all-in cost of just 0.6 pips with absolutely 0 commission. And as we already saw, that can be way cheaper than a pro account that tacks on a big commission on top of its so-called 0 spread.
And finally, let's talk about the brokers who have truly earned their reputation over decades of reliability. These are the veterans of the industry, combining trust and longevity with consistently competitive pricing.
First, HYCM. They've been around for over 40 years and are regulated by top watchdogs like the FCA. That gives you incredible peace of mind to go along with their low-cost raw account. Then you have Light Finance, another long-standing player that's built a massive following, especially in emerging markets, by making professional ECN conditions available to a global audience.
So we've just looked at 10 of the best low-cost brokers out there. But here's the crucial part, the catch. The cheapest broker can literally change from 1 minute to the next. This list is a snapshot in time, not a permanent ranking.
Spreads are not static. They're alive. They're constantly moving. widening and tightening with the market's liquidity and volatility. A broker might be the cheapest during the super busy London session, but then become one of the most expensive during the quieter Asian session. And that's exactly why static best of lists can be so misleading. That's why you just can't rely on some review you read 6 months ago. To see the live, up-to-the-second spreads for every single one of these brokers, you need a tool that tracks them in real time. All the data for this explainer came directly from Brokeranalysis.com, where you can see for yourself who is truly the cheapest right now. And really, that brings us to the final question you should be asking yourself. Now that you understand the true cost formula, and now that you've seen the top contenders, I want you to take a hard look at your current broker. After everything we've covered today, are you still confident you're not paying more than you have to?